Hello there, and welcome to the first episode ever of the Short Nerd vs. Shorter Nerd podcast. I am the Short Nerd. My name is AJ, and I'm, of course, with my co-host, as he always will be, the Shorter Nerd Ryan. How are you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, AJ. I couldn't help myself, but I actually did. I almost said General Kenobi when you said hello there. I think you just made a Star Wars reference without realizing it.
Well, you didn't, and that's therapeutic. But while we're on the topic of
Yes.
Star Wars, we are looking at something very interesting tonight. And what is that, Mr. Ryan?
Tonight, actually, very late.
Or depending on whenever you're listening to this, it is a
Very
hot
late at 8:12. We are looking at Star Wars: A New Hope, released in 1977 and directed by George Lucas. So, AJ, tell us a bit more about this movie, and then, we'll get started.
The plot follows Luke Skywalker, who joined Skywalkers. What the fuck am I talking about? The plot joins Luke Skywalker, who joins forces with a Jedi Knight, a cocky pilot, and a Wookiee, and two droids to go and save the galaxy from an Empire world-destroying battle station called the Death Star, while also attempting to rescue Princess Leia from the mysterious Darth Vader. It made $503 million at the box office and was directed by George Lucas.
Nice. That's a lot of dollar signs, dude. No wonder why this is so popular.
And
Like,
then,
it was just some one shitty, sci-fi movie. Everyone thought it was shitty, but then they saw it and they hear John Williams score, all of these practical effects, and it gets famous. And now here we are talking about it.
and then the special editions came out, and then Disney bought it. And isn't the world cruel?
Yeah, the world is cruel.
But you know what isn't cruel?
What is that, Mr. AJ?
A rewatch of the original trilogy.
That is not cruel at all. Want to know what's actually kind of cruel, though?
Rewatching the other two.
Well, let's argue about that. So, we have a discussion topic here, and the discussion topic consists of the question, why does the original trilogy work so much better than the other two trilogies? And, we'll just talk about that, and then we'll get into the movie. So, why does it work better? Well, let's talk about the prequels first, should we?
I actually want to. Well, I want to start with Empire, and then we could go to the prequels.
All right.
So Empire is obviously home to possibly the greatest film twist of all time.
Mm-hmm.
You know the one.
Yeah, we all know the one.
And when you think about it, did the prequels have a moment that was that iconic? Did the sequels have a moment that was that iconic? Did they have something that will be remembered in the cinema histories for time to come?
Now, here's the thing. I think that's the most iconic movie scene in all of time, so obviously no. However, you can't really blame the prequels and the sequels for that specific reason.
Why not?
Because they can't recreate what they did and make something as iconic as what they did. Because that was the biggest movie twist of all time. It's not like they could do something like that again,
Right.
because it's the backstory of that character.
But
However,
it almost kind of feels like they don't have something that is like the prequel equivalent of that.
yeah,
They're missing that extra.
yeah, exactly. And, they're missing that extra, moment, the gasp moment. I feel like, but people shit their pants when they saw a double-bladed lightsaber. But you can't really compare that to the, I am your father twist, because it doesn't even compare. But, of course, people, crap their pants when they saw it, because, double lightsaber.
People also shit their pants when they saw Ben Swallow in episode 8. So, I mean.
Yeah, a bunch of girls posting on their stories, "Oh my god, Ben Swallow!" Like, shut up.
Why was he so wide?
I don't know.
Because the movie was an IMAX and Adam Driver is not.
So, but the prequel is missing that. The sequels are missing that. But want to know what they also don't have that the original trilogy had?
What?
They are lacking, and I'm going to speak for the prequels, because the sequels actually does. It doesn't have as good character chemistry, but the prequels are missing character chemistry. That's the one thing they are missing.
I think part of that also comes down to the bland acting by a lot of people. Like Frank Oz does a good job as Yoda. Ian McGregor obviously is the standout.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think all of the actors in that movie are actually really good. They were just given nothing. In my opinion, Mace Windu was a wasted part. He was a wasted part. They gave him nothing. Samuel L. Jackson is known for saying "motherfucker" and then killing a bunch of people. Because that's what he does in his movies. He's a bad In this movie, he cuts off someone's head and gets murdered. Like, he doesn't even have that much lines, and when he does have lines, they're bland. Just like Anakin's lines, just like Padme's lines. Just the romance doesn't work either. It's just nothing really works. Except, of course, I do like the third episode. But still, it could have been better still.
Speaking of Sam Jackson, did you ever hear the story about why his lightsaber is purple?
Yeah, like he literally just asked, and then George Lucas said yes.
Because he's Sam fucking Jackson. He can do whatever he wants.
Sam fucking Jackson. He just does what he wants, and honestly, good for him.
I want a purple lightsaber, and he's just like, okay.
Yeah. Well, no. First, he was like, "Well, Jedi's have red and blue lightsabers," and he was just like, "Please." And then George was like, "Ah, why not?" Like that's literally how it went down.
That's like when I went to Disney's Hollywood Studios and they had a build your own lightsaber station in the Star Tours gift shop, and I did double bladed, but one side was red and the other was green.
Oh, that's sick, actually. Christmas colors right there.
It was a toy.
So, anyways, yeah, they work better than the prequels because the original trilogy had character blossom development with the romance between Han and Leia. You know, it actually works. But in the prequels, it's just one-liner dialogue and really shitty acting by Hayden Christensen. And again, Hayden Christensen is a great actor. He just was not given good lines. Lucas has very hard time portraying emotion without any words. The characters have to say what they feel. For example, you know the scene at the end of Revenge of the Sith, you know, Darth Vader. I think we could all connect the dots here.
No,
he has to say what he feels.
That is
convey it. It's so bad.
The no is the Alan of the Star Wars series.
Alan of the. Oh my god, I never thought of that. Holy shit. We'll get to that movie. That's a hell of a ride. But we didn't talk about the sequels. You want to talk about how, you know, the original trilogies don't even have competition to the sequels?
Before I do that, I want to just touch on the relationships you brought up with Han and Leia growing. You see, the difference is, so in the original trilogy, in the first movie, Leia does not have eyes for Han at all, and Han's cocky Han Solo, right?
Yeah, Han's a dick.
Yeah, second one, they start to get more, and then he gets frozen in carbonite, and that's where it clicks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like the point where Leia officially like.
Yeah.
Because I love you. I know. The I know is the most Han Solo shit you'll ever get. I just love Han Solo.
You go to the prequels, Padme lays on an Anakin for the first time.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the sequels, Rey and Ben Solo feels forced as fuck.
I gotta disagree, actually. I actually think that was probably one of the best parts about the sequels. I think the relationship between Rey and Kylo Ren, or Ben Solo, was the best part. Especially when you look at the Canto Bite bullshit we got. It's definitely, I think, not forced. Why do you think it's forced?
I don't know. Maybe the fact that they battled, and then, you know, Kylo realized, wait a minute, Sith, bad. And then Rey died, and he kissed her and.
Oh, but that's episode 9 though. That's
not part of the continuity.
Yeah, that's just not canon. Oh, by the way, viewers at home, me and AJ hate episode 9 with a burning passion.
We are like everyone else on the internet.
My mom loved that movie, and I hate her ever since.
She is wrong.
She's just wrong.
I hope she's listening to this. Hello.
I don't know if she will, but if you are, she told me to, you know, talk logically and not curse a lot. So, Mom, if you're watching this,
we failed.
Fuck. That's so fucking rude. Anyway, so the sequels, I think anything before episode 9 is actually pretty good. I do like episode 7 and 8, and I think the character development between Kylo Ren and Rey in episode 8 is actually really good, and I really like what they did with Luke. But, you know, when we bring up this discussion topic, we're more of bashing this the prequels, I feel like.
Right. And part of my problem with the sequels is that, like, the prequels in the original trilogy, they had a planned story throughout.
Exactly. They had a guideline.
Right. What happened was episode 7 had a guideline. Then episode 8 kind of had a guideline, but they gave Rian Johnson free controls. Mm-hmm. And then they switched directors on episode 9, but there's already no guideline going in.
Yeah, exactly. And JJ had to like kind of, because both directors had different ideas.
Right.
What happened, episode 7, JJ had a nice thing going. Then Ryan Johnson took over and he pretty much undid everything he did. He killed Snoke. He said Rey's nobody. And I actually like what he did. But then, in my opinion, JJ actually ruined the trilogy and not Ryan Johnson. I'm sorry. I'm just saying it right here. JJ definitely could have made a better episode 9.
Well, because he wasn't the original director.
Mm-hmm.
It's like how Solo was really bad because Phil Lord and Chris Miller, legendary directors of movies like How to Train Your Dragon and the Lego Movie, critically acclaimed movies like fantastic directors, were taking off and replaced by someone halfway through.
Yeah, exactly.
And it became like, name one thing that happened in Solo that does not involve Darth Maul.
Or name one thing, like, memorable thing in Solo. I don't think even Darth Maul scene is memorable. I just remember him being in it, dog. Like, I'm gonna be honest.
You know what my biggest problem with Solo is?
What is that?
Community had a Star Wars themed episode, and they did not make one Community reference while Donald Glover was on screen.
And also, I mean, the fact that they didn't deepfake Harrison Ford's face into the actor. Anyways, we're getting off topic. So, let's get back on topic. Mr. AJ, we have a lot to talk about. This is, in my opinion, one of the best Star Wars movies. Once again, released 1977, directed by George Lucas, and it blew up. And we're just going to talk about it. What we're going to do is we're going to go through the plot, just scene by scene, and then we wrote notes down, and we're just going to bring up ideas in the middle of it. It's not going to be a plot-by-plot synopsis, because 75% of it is just going to be us talking about the movie. But we're still going through the plot so we can have some sort of guideline, unlike the Secret Trilogy, which didn't have a guideline. Hey, see what I did there? Aha.
We're going to try not to ramble on.
Yeah. We kind of did that with Solo, but then I literally just told AJ, yo, man, we're getting off topic. Because we're trying to keep this podcast a little bit shorter because, work.
Yeah, I mean, I'm done with all that stuff anyways, but, podcasts, podcasts
I don't want to bore you guys.
Yeah, and, podcasts are weird because they're supposed to be, around at least an hour, but not longer. But they can't be longer than 3 hours, because then they start to bore the viewer.
Yeah.
And why are we just explaining the medium on a podcast? That has nothing to do with podcast.
I don't know. So let's get to the movie. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through this movie scene by scene, and we're just going to pop in our ideas that we have. Eventually, it's just going to turn into one big conversation, but we need a bit of a roadmap, unlike, the sequel trilogy. Aha, you see what I did there?
Got him.
All right, so Mr. 5'8" nerd, AJ, would you like to get us through the plot?
I do. So, I said that like a wedding. I do. May now kiss the plot. Far off in a distant galaxy, the starship belonging to Princess Leia, a young member of the Imperial Senate, is intercepted in the course of a secret mission by a massive Imperial Star Destroyer. First off, opening of the movie, the Star Destroyers, the first time you see them and them shooting at the small rebel ship,
it's like nothing anyone has ever seen at the time. I have this down in my notes. It's the first time we get to see different spaceships in the Star Wars universe, and they look so unique. And again, it's no special effects too. It's insane.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to call them space Nazis, but that's what the Empire is based.
That's what they're based off Nazis.
And they're based off Nazis, and they shouldn't be cool, but the Empire is really cool.
Yeah, the Empire is really cool. Again, in this movie, they don't have. Obviously, we learn, the reason why they're evil. But in this movie, they're just evil, and we don't know why. Until, of course, they fucking blow up a planet for no reason.
Right.
But,
And we don't even, you could even interpret it for, the first hour of the movie. Maybe the rebels are the bad guys.
Well, again, the rebels are sort of like vigilante. Like the movie Rogue One that released in 2016, I believe. That was a Star Wars spin-off, and you see the rebels doing kind of bad shit. They do dirty shit when you think about it. They're not all superhero good guys. The rebels are what is implied. They're rebels. They're rebelling. They're not going to be
right,
super good guys. It's not like they're Jedis. They're just Or I don't even think the Jedis were that good, but that's a discussion
Right.
for another day.
One of the suggested topics for the sequel trilogy was that almost like the First Order are the good guys and the Resistance are actually the bad guys, but because like it was almost like a reverse, but the Resistance it was like this whole thing. It could have been cool.
Again, the whole. I'm not gonna get too into this, but I'm just gonna say this one thing, then we'll get back on topic. The Resistance and First Order is so lazy, and it's literally just the Empire and the Rebellion, which is why I think they should have swapped or just did something else. But we'll talk about that when we talk about the good old Episode 7.
The
So
Empire, the Empire 2, Electric Boogaloo. An Imperial boarding party blasts its way onto the captured vessel. After a fierce firefight, the crew of Leia's ship is subdued. The dark, forbidding figure of Darth Vader appears, brutally interrogating the crew and ordering his stormtroopers to search the ships for the secret documents it believes it's carrying.
Yeah, one thing about this scene, by the way. Well, first of all, C-3PO is introduced, and I love how C-3PO has like a very rustic look. He's not shiny
silver leg.
Because I actually was that explained in the prequels? I don't fucking know. But he looks very rustic, and that kind of foreshadows, that Star Wars isn't this very sparkly, clean sci-fi universe. It's like more realistic.
Yeah,
and then with Darth Vader,
they go to a sand planet with sand people and Jawas.
Yeah. Watini! But then when Darth Vader is interrogating the person, AJ, I don't know if you know the answer, but why isn't he force choking? Because as you all know, Darth Vader can force choke, but he's like actually choking him with his hands.
Because I think they wanted to reveal that for later in the movie.
That's okay, yeah, that makes sense actually. And also
to show that he's such a big bad that he's doing it on his own men.
I even wrote that later. Like, this is the scene where Darth Vader's a badass when he chokes that guard. But not the guard, the officer. But stormtroopers in this beginning scene is like the one time stormtroopers are actually scary. Like, they're actually like badass and they hit their shots.
And like the last time I watched A New Hope before I watched this was a while.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that Darth Vader talked that much.
Yeah, Darth Vader talks a lot. However, he doesn't really have too much character development in this movie. But obviously that is saved for Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. Also, James Earl Jones does such a good job.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's the best. I love how they didn't put him in the suit because he was kind of, like, big, and I feel bad.
Also, the original voice of Darth Vader was supposed to be a Scottish man.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
I can't.
Oh, yeah.
I can't.
I can.
They have footage of it. It's hilarious.
I think I've seen that on YouTube. Oh, and then another part about the scene is where Darth Vader just walks in, and then he just kind of examines all the dead bodies. He's just like, yes, this is where this is supposed to be. He's just kind of examining it, and I always laugh at that.
Thinking about it, I don't think think about it now. That scene doesn't add up when like they redid it in Rogue One because he like uses his lightsaber in Rogue One.
Yeah, at that point when he walks in, all the
is that supposed to be like before he comes through the door? Like, is there like another hallway?
That was that was before. No, that was after he came through the door. Yeah. Because Rogue One goes right into A New Hope.
Right.
Anyways,
it's such a story time.
All right.
Darth Vader and his crew search the ship for what they think is hidden on it. The technical readout for the Empire's mightiest weapon, a planet-sized battalion called the Death Star. Now that is a typo. It is a moon-sized.
Oh yeah. That's no moon. Space station.
It's a space station. That's actually one of the quotes, no, I am your father is often misquoted.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's not that one.
Yeah, that one's also misquoted because people usually go, "That's no moon. It's the Death Star."
No, it's a space station, not the Death Star.
They don't know what it is yet.
That's so annoying. God, people don't understand the exact quote from the exact movie. God,
you idiot!
You imbecile! Anyways, where are we in the notes?
We right after they said they're looking for the Death Star plans.
Can you highlight that?
Of course. I'm gonna leave this in. This is such interesting commentary on the movie. Anyways,
All
in the
right.
confusion, Princess Leia slips away and hides the secret documents, as well as a recorded plea for help for Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the memory of R2-D2, a maintenance droid. Leia is taken a prisoner, but R2 gets away in an escape pod, along with his, I'm gonna say quote-unquote best friend, because at this point,
At this point, they kind of hate each other.
yeah.
Oh yeah. About C-3PO. Well, first of all, I love how R2-D2 is kind of like the flying carpet of this movie, where he doesn't have any spoken words, but he has so much personality.
Although my favorite part about R2-D2 in this is that this is before like they use CGI, so
Mhm.
Kenny, you could see where Kenny Baker is just like waddling in the little tin.
Yeah, it's always adds to the charm.
Yeah, Anthony Daniels does a really good job as 3PO.
His accent on it is really good. Also, this is the point where you realize that C-3PO has a bit of a fear of flying. He's definitely afraid of flying, I feel like. And no
Yeah.
one ever brings that up ever again. But every
Also,
time he gets on a ship, he's always like, what's going on here? Like,
he's a little more smart-witted and tempered in the original trilogy than he is in like the other two.
Oh yeah, speaking of wasted characters, not only like Finn and Poe were wasted, C-3PO is wasted. He's like barely in it. It's insane.
Also, what line really annoyed me with 3PO are on the topic. Let me take one last look at my friends. You've known these people for about like a month.
Yeah, exactly. It's like your friends or the people that you've been fighting alongside with for a bit. Like,
Yeah.
and that seems cringe. Anyways,
I mean, I get you could say Poe, because Poe was with the Resistance for a long time.
that's true, I guess.
But,
Oh yeah,
like,
he was there.
and so was Chewie, but that doesn't.
All right. Anyways, can I go along with the plot?
Yeah, you could read.
All right. After crash landing on the planet below, a barren desert world called Tatooine, the droids head off in search of civilization, but soon quarrel over the way to go. Now, in this scene, R2 and C-3PO are legit a divorced married couple, and it's the best thing in the world. Like, C-3PO is getting so fed up with R2.
You were supposed to take the kids to the gym today. R2.
Anyways, R2 insists that he has a mission to go perform, but C-3PO wants no part of such an adventure. The two droids eventually go their separate ways, but are soon reunited when they both are captured by Jawas, who are pretty much, if you guys have not seen the movie, which I hope everyone has seen this movie, Jawas are just little, like, aliens that kind of scavenge droids and sell them.
Right.
So pretty much, what?
It's kind of funny, because in the original, you could see it when, like, Uncle Owen is buying them. Some of them are, like, the same height as him. Because
yeah. So Jawas are supposed to be short, but, like, AJ, as you said, some of them are, like, tall.
Which means they ran out of child actors, and Kenny Baker was an R2-D2. So
yeah, exactly. So pretty much, this is where we kind of meet Luke, and Luke is the main character, and pretty much, and what I wrote here, I'm gonna get that in a second. So C-3PO was sold to Uncle Owen, which is Luke's aunt and uncle, which I'm just gonna spoil real quick. I'm pretty sure everyone knows. Luke's father is Darth Vader.
what?
Luke's father is dead. So he's left with his aunt and uncle, and he's pretty much forced to farm. And he hates it because he wants to join a rebellion. And I kind of always loved that because he's like, I want to go to the station to get some power converters. You can hang out with your friends later. It's like he knows. But anyways,
the saddest part of this movie, he never got those power converters.
Never got those damn power converters.
Uncle Ben Kenobi, Uncle Owen, I can't remember the aunt's name.
Emperor.
Yeah, Emperor. Jeez, I just watched this movie too. Uncle and Emperor, they get fucking torched.
Yeah.
But he never got the power converters.
You could always still go back to Tatooine and just get those damn power converters.
No, he's in exile now.
He exiles to the frickin' island planet, whatever, or the water planet, whatever that planet's
called. It was
called.
filmed in Ireland, so
Yeah.
I like to imagine that he exiles to just Ireland.
He just exiles to Ireland.
He's a farmer of potatoes and blue milk.
Yes. So anyways, in the plot, so C-3PO is sold to Luke, Emperor, and Uncle Owen, But then a red protocol droid is gonna be sold, but that droid breaks down. He has a bad motivator, so they end up taking R2, of course. Now, AJ, wanna know what's terrifying?
That we just saw someone die.
Guys, we just saw droid die. But no, what's terrifying is that if that droid didn't have a bad motivator, this movie wouldn't happen.
They probably
Like,
just
in
keep
the-
blowing up planets.
Yeah, exactly. Because R2 has the plans. Who knows where R2
Right.
would have.
Also, another. Well, one would assume he would just keep finding. He would get a new master and then just try to get to Ben Kenobi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But one thing that you did not point out was that when the scene when they're on, when 3PO reunites with R2 on the Java transport.
Uh-huh.
Do you know who we saw on that transport?
Who?
The Gonk droid.
Oh, the fucking Gonk droid. Dude. Oh, that reminds me. I played this Gonk droid in Lego Star Wars, but as a kid, every time I watched the prequels, I always recognized the music from the Star Wars games. Like, legit.
I was watching a video where someone, Sheffield Productions for you, wanted to do some research. He was ranking the Star Wars scores with another great YouTuber, Sideways, and and he was talking about like the score from I think episode 1, and he's like, I remember this one because it's the score that I played whenever you completed a level in Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, dude. Of course, man. I also recognize a lot of music from Battlefront as well.
Battlefront. I really want to get Battlefront.
Battlefront 2 is really good, but they kind of stopped updating the game for whatever reason. But the new Star Wars Squadron games. Anyway, off topic. Woo! Alright.
Do.
So, like, here's the thing. They go inside, right?
Yeah.
And, how the fuck does an oil bath work? And C-3PO starts to take an oil bath.
Well, like, you
How
know,
does-
sometimes like you'll like when like you got like a sticky valve or something, they'll say like put some grease in it and it'll like.
But it's just drowning a bunch of metal in oil. Like,
I think it's supposed to make it more loose.
No, I know what it's supposed to do. It's just, how does that even work? Why did Luke have a bath full of oil?
Because they have a bunch of moisture converters. They have droids that help them. He's probably not the one who needs a bath.
That's true, actually.
And they're in the field all day, so they gotta clean them to keep them good and good
Just
condition.
oil baths, bro. And then
the Tatooine equivalent of a mud bath.
pretty much. And then C-3PO fucking says, this oil bath is gonna feel so good. How he can't feel? Like, he can't feel.
Wait a
He's a droid. That's always bugged me. I don't know why.
He can't feel. That just made me think of the scene in Empire where he gets shot in Cloud City and Chewie turns him back on and he goes, "What's this? A stormtrooper? Oh no, I'm gonna get shot!" Right,
It out. Yeah,
that's one of my favorite scenes. That I found that so funny.
it is. And then when the C-3PO has his head backwards, he's like, "Oh no!" And then Chewbacca just shuts him off.
Yeah, because he started yelling at Chewie.
I know.
Poor Chewbacca. He can't cut any slack.
Dude, we'll get by the end of this podcast, we'll get to Chewbacca's mistreatment. But anyway, so do you want to continue with the plot, Mr. AJ? Mr.
Of course
Short.
I do, Mr. Ryan. So, Luke discovers that the message hidden inside of Princess Leia says, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope." It keeps replaying over and over. It's not showing the same message, and he finds the princess beautiful. You want
Hunter? Yeah, we'll just say it. I'm pretty sure everyone fucking knows. That's his sister.
Episode 5 was really uncomfortable.
Oh god, the kiss.
Especially when, like, at the end of the movie, like, Leia has the Force, which kind of implies that she was the other.
Mm-hmm.
Which
I feel like everyone kind of knew before Return of the Jedi that was kind of the twist.
Yeah.
It is uncomfortable.
Also, how old is Luke supposed to be? Do you know?
Probably like 19 or some shit.
Yeah, why is he playing with a toy plane?
I don't know. I mean, again, when you're just bored in your bed and you just kind of like toss around a pillow, it's kind of like that where you're just kind of bored and he's just playing with a plane.
I like to imagine that, like, if he never left Tatooine, he'd be like 27.
Well, no, he would have went to the academy, but obviously the rebellion would have lost if he never went. Like,
what do they even teach at the academy? moisture farming.
No, the Academy of the Rebellion.
Well, would it have been that academy?
Yeah, he would have went to the because he said his uncle said one more year. Also, speaking of that scene, when Luke talks about Obi-Wan Kenobi, I love the way
Yeah, like
the aunt and the uncle kind of look at each other, and then we as the audience know why they're looking at each other in that way. It gives me chills. And then when Uncle Owen says he has too much of his father in him, that's why I'm afraid. Dude, the chills, right? Like, I don't know if this is me, it's just the chills. So anyways, after, Luke is like, hey, I want to go to the academy. And they're like, sorry, Luke, we need you for one more season. Want to just talk about that iconic sunset scene?
Okay, so the kind of sunset scene scored a song called Binary Sunset, often used as the Force theme. Just the silhouette on the rocks with the with the twin sun setting.
Mm-hmm.
You know how every like movie has and like every movie musical, especially Disney ones, have an "I Want" song.
Yeah, that's like it's not an I Want song, but that's like the version of the I Want.
They did it without saying a goddamn word. It's beautiful.
Really, oh my god, AJ, I never thought of it that way. That's like the I Want song.
They had it in his eye the "I want to get off this planet and see more things."
I want to get off this planet and join a rebellion. That was said just by him looking at a double fucking sunset.
With the wind blowing in his hair. It's so well done.
So well done.
That is the equivalent to him laying on the rocks going, part of your word.
Or like singing Out There from Hunchback of Notre Dame. In fact, that would have been like, if there was any Disney I Want song that would go with Star Wars, it would be Out There from Hunchback of Notre Dame. If anyone knows that, that's my favorite animated Disney movie.
Yeah, and then I'll Make a Man Out of You will be on Yavin 4.
Oh my god, you're right. Holy shit. Honestly, just Star Wars musical at this point. Like, legit.
I mean, Disney gotta make some money somehow.
Yeah. Anyways, so... Oh, AJ, I just want to mention this to the viewer. While I was taking notes, you wrote, use the Force, young Padawan. This is definitely the ghost of Obi-Wan. Just to motivate me to keep going, writing notes. I just wanted to tell the viewers how that was in there. So thank you, AJ, for that note.
Knowing full well that you're like half an hour into the movie before you even beat him, before you even...
Yeah. Oh, I mean, oh, that's not AJ who wrote that. That was the ghost of Obi-Wan who wrote that. Yeah.
Ooh.
Who wrote that.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You must go to the Dagobah system. Anyway, so then, speaking of meeting Obi-Wan, pretty much R2 goes missing because, he's on a mission. So Luke and C-3PO are like, all right, we gotta look for this motherfucker. So they look for him and stuff, and then they see sand people and banthas. Fun fact, banthas are just elephants with the costume on. Animal cruelty? I think so. Good-ass movie? I think so too, though.
PETA is on the phone.
Dude, I can imagine PETA making a statement about that.
Sure they did.
You want to fucking bet? I'm looking this up after. In fact, I can probably look it up right now. As you go through the plot, look it up.
All right.
They definitely did that.
So, they go find Obi-Wan, and the sand people start to... They scare away R2, and they shoot down Luke and 3PO until Ben Kenobi comes out of the shadows.
With the most god-awful noise. Well, it was added... Well, the original was just him yelling, I think. And then the special edition, they added some goofy-ass shit. Like, they added... You know what I'm talking about, right, AJ?
Yeah. I'm gonna reference Jurassic Park 3 again.
No!
No, you know how at the beginning of the movie, they're digging up the bones, and they have, like, he finds, like, the raptor whistle? I think, like, that's what it was...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like that's what it's supposed to be going for.
It's again, we'll get to that shitty movie. Just because you have a Velociraptor's vocal cord doesn't mean you could actually fucking mimic the exact sound. And it pisses me off. Anyways, back to Obi-Wan.
So, he asked him if he knows of an Obi-Wan. Well, Luke recognizes her as Ben Kenobi. And he goes, "You know of an Obi-Wan?" And he goes, "That's a name I haven't heard in years." "Why, of course I know him. He is me."
No, I'm surprised Obi-Wan was so straightforward about that, and then in the movie after this, Yoda just waits like an hour to tell Luke who he is.
Well,
Obi-Wan
yeah.
just says it
Well,
immediately.
because old Yoda kind of went insane.
Well, he ain't go insane. Well, that's arguable. I don't think he went insane. I think he was just testing Luke's patience. That's what he was doing.
Old
Actually,
Yoda
that's
is old Yoda is so entertaining though. Like him in Last Jedi is my favorite part of that movie.
yeah, easily.
I'm gonna burn the sacred text. Burn they do. And he just fucking
Burn
lights
the
tree.
sacred text.
The sacred text.
It was good shit. Anyway, oh yeah, so this is, me and AJ were talking about this earlier. AJ, I'm gonna mention, this note, and I think you know where I'm going with this. Alec Guinness is legit Ian McGregor. They're the same person. If you guys don't know, Ian McGregor is the actor who played young Obi-Wan in the prequels, and Alec Guinness is obviously Obi-Wan in this movie. They're the same person.
You gotta wonder, like, did George Lucas know that he was gonna direct a prequel at that time? Like, he couldn't.
I mean, actually, we'll continue and then I'll state my thought.
Like, he couldn't have that early, like, in pre-production. It could have completely flopped.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you know, but he just is, I don't know if it's because he's directed that way or it's just Alec Guinness. Just, he made the character himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, well, what Lucas he knew what happened on Mustafar. He had that whole thing set up. He just wasn't planning on making it and putting it onto screen.
Right, he had the lore.
Yeah, he had the lore down.
And then
expect with the Clone Wars and shit. He had it down.
I'm sure if episodes 4 and 5 bomb, like if it was bombing by episode 6, he would have added like the backstory about the Mustafar stuff in on episode 6. But I think once episode 5 and 4 were such critical successes,
yeah, he knew that he was gonna make the prequels.
He like by the time he was already starting episode 6, like he had to green light it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he started writing, I think, in 1997, and obviously the first prequel came out in 1999. Someone fact-checked me in the comments on this video. I think he started writing in 1997. It could be wrong.
That's because that doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Because it takes you a while to write a movie, and it takes you, like, years to film it, especially in the 90s.
Oh, so then, back to the plot here. So, Obi-Wan brings Luke to his little hut, and they're talking, and then he talks about Anakin and the Clone Wars. Now, every time he talks about this, I get, Clone Wars, the TV show, like, flashbacks. It's really sad hearing Obi-Wan talk about Anakin. Like, in my opinion, that's the most emotional scene in the movie.
And speaking of that scene, I had to look it up, because when I was rewatching it, they said Clone Wars. I'm like, that's got to be a special edition edit, right?
No, it wasn't. Yeah,
no,
he had that down. And that's insane to think about. The fact that the Clone Wars was in Lucas's mind since 1977. That's insane. Such a new thing.
We've seen George Lucas creatively. I don't know if that was like his plan all along, or if he just said, let's just throw random words at a page.
He probably just made up the word Clone Wars because it sounds cool. Could we just be honest here, AJ?
Yeah, it's
probably
George
Lucas. It's George Lucas. In fact, if he didn't have anyone, again, that's why the prequels sucked, because he had full creative control. Well, most prequels. Anyway, when he ignites that lightsaber, showing his father's lightsaber, Luke's father's lightsaber, Anakin. First of all, it's so cool in Revenge of the Sith when he picks up the lightsaber. It's a cool little, because you know how he got it.
Right.
But that's later on. AJ, give a sentence description of how the audience must have reacted when they saw that lightsaber ignite the first time.
What the fuck is that? That's awesome. I want one.
Exactly. Just shitting their pants. It's like the first time people saw Godzilla on the big screen. They're like, what the hell is this?
Or like King Kong on top of the Empire State.
Yeah, they're like, holy crap, how is this real? And then we look at it now and it's just like, oh, the lightsaber kind of looks fake.
It looks so fake.
It looks so fake. They should, again, why did they add the stupid McClunky in the Greedo scene, but they didn't fix the goddamn lightsaber?
That's too much work, man.
It is too much work.
They can mess with Harrison Ford's audio all they want.
Yeah. Or you can make it staticky in one bit and then have it crystal clear because you edit you tamper with the audio. But no. That's better than, fixing a lightsaber that looks like ass now.
Right. It's like how, like, I don't have a reference. Or actually, no, I do have a reference. How in, like, I'm gonna go back to Jurassic Park because I'm just thinking about
Oh
it.
my god, everything leads to Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Well, because like Jurassic Park was like the father of like modern CGI. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it was like one of the
You ever notice
first.
how the like CGI in Jurassic Park 1 looks actually really good, but then in the third one it doesn't?
Because they overdid it. With the third one, they did close-ups of the CGI.
Right.
With the original, all the close-ups they did with practical effects, but all the longer shots they had to do with CGI, and it looked more realistic.
Well, because like the story is halfway through the second one, Steven Spielberg just lost interest in it and started making more about the spectacle.
Mm.
So it went from actual story with PTSD Ian Malcolm to Alan real quick.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking Alan. Now I'm gonna write that in the notes. Next to iconic sunset scene, I'm writing the word Alan. There we go.
So
eat it.
So
It's just iconic sunset
so
scene.
if binary sunset is Luke's I Want song, is the Alan
What?
is that Alan Grant's I Want to Get Off This Island song?
That's Alan Grant's I'm considering suicide at this point song. Because Raptor's speaking human language to him.
That is Alan Grant's. Why did they make Ellie Sattler a housewife? She doesn't deserve that.
That's Alan Grant's. Oh, why does Ellie Sattler have a wife? I mean, not a wife, a husband and kids, and it's not me. Like, that's what the fans wanted to see.
Hey,
but of course, no, of course
Jurassic
not.
Park had possibly my favorite scene in that entire trilogy when the son is watching Barney in a movie about dinosaurs.
Oh my god.
Fucking genius. Okay, let's go back to Star Wars.
Yeah.
After in Obi-Wan's hut, it cuts to Princess Leia on the Death Star, who's been taken captive by Darth Vader. Leia is repeatedly interrogated and asked about the whereabouts of the Rebel base, which is hidden on Yavin 4, but we don't know it yet, and neither does the Empire, which refuses to crack. Vader is in a command room. He is challenged by a commander, and this is where we first see him use the Force choke.
Yeah, wait, before we talk about that scene, we'll just go back to the Leia part.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say a few words. Torture kinky death ball. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck is that even supposed to do?
They used it on Han Solo, too.
Wait, they did?
Well, they used like a stationary version.
No, yeah, they used like a table version, but it looked like it was a ball with a bunch of needles sticking out.
But like that one, like why were they doing it to Han? They didn't need to get any information out of him.
They just wanted to torture him because they're the Empire.
Anyways.
Empire. All right, so the room.
I did not hit her. I did not.
I did not hit her. Oh, hi, Mark. So
Gotcha.
yeah, Darth Vader loses his shit because hold on, I have this in my notes. Give me a sec. Oh yeah, your sad devotion to your ancient religion. Damn, you fucking killed him, dude. Like that fucking officer fucking killed Vader, dude. Like
Now,
holy crap.
The audience reaction was when Vader lifted one finger and choked out a man.
They're probably like, oh my god, this is the coolest stuff I've ever seen. Because it's just Darth Vader. Because it's at this point in the movie where he's a certified badass.
Right.
Like he just starts choking him. Because he literally just made fun of the Force. So wanna what Vader does? He chokes him with 2 fingers.
Also, in this scene, we're introduced to Grand Moff Tarkin, who he kind of like resides in this movie. He kind of like resides over Vader and kind of like the role that the Emperor has, but then he's not in the other two, and he's never killed. I guess he's blown up.
No, he's blown up. Yeah, at the end. Well, Grand Moff Tarkin has some weird authority over Vader. It's weird.
I don't.
I never got. It was never explained either.
Yeah, it was never explained, especially in the next movie where Vader is just changing admirals.
Yeah, exactly. And then he just kills Admiral from Admiral. Like, what the? And then in this one, it's just Grand Moff Tarkin is like the Emperor. It's like, what happens here? Something happens. But anyway, yeah, Darth Vader will literally choke anyone who is somewhat rude to him. And it's great. It's great.
Sir, I went to go get your lunch, but they didn't have any ice, which I put in the drink. You will get no drink no more.
It's like a guard walks up to him. Sir, I was gonna go get McDonald's. You want anything? Yeah, I'll get a vegan burger. I'm trying to cut off. They don't have that. Darth Vader just slaughters everyone in the room.
I
Because
know.
that's what he would do, because he's fucking Darth Vader.
Have you seen the Robot Chicken sketch where it's Palpatine on an escalator and
Yes! Yes, I've seen that! It's so fucking good.
my
It's
lord,
so good.
my lord,
Stormtrooper?
we shut the fuck up.
It's just, my lord, Stormtrooper, my lord, Stormtrooper. Okay, for God's sakes, it's so good.
All right. Anyways, back on Tatooine, Luke and Ben discover the Jawas have been slaughtered by Imperial troops. Luke gets a sense of fear, which I believe is his first kind of semi-counter of the Force.
Mm-hmm.
And he rushes back home to find the flaming corpses of Beru and Owen.
Now, let's talk about this for a sec. There's been a lot of theories out there that says Boba Fett actually killed them. And that's why Darth Vader says no disintegrations when talking about capturing the Millennium Falcon. I think Boba Fett might have killed them. Is that just me? I feel like that's a proper theory.
No.
Because, like, Stormtroopers don't have flamethrowers. Why were they burned? Wouldn't they just get shot?
Well, don't they have fire troopers?
I guess, but to be honest, AJ, they were not invented when this movie came out. That was, like, in the expanded universe.
Also, like, Boba Fett in Episode 5, along with the rest of the bounty hunters, they're not, like, part of the Empire. They were hired to get...
Yeah, they were hired.
The Empire.
That's true. I just thought it was kind of an interesting theory I like to go off of, just to give Boba Fett some more depth.
Because,
like,
Boba Fett is a bounty hunter. He's working for Jabba the Hutt. Jabba is not related to the Empire.
Yeah, that's true.
That is made abundantly clear throughout.
I know. I just like making, like, cool theories like that. Because, like, what if, you know, he was working with them? Or what if he was in the area and he saw what was going on? Like, I don't know. But, like, Luke also shows barely any emotion when he sees his pretty much parents die. Like, it's not his parents, but they raised him from birth.
Right.
So, is that weird? I feel like
it's almost like, for him, like, he's sad, but it's almost like the chains breaking free.
Yeah, he's free, but, like, these are the people he's known for 19 years. I don't know. Again, us as the audience don't give a shit, so therefore Luke kind of doesn't give a shit, which I kind of feel like it works, but I still found it a bit odd. I don't know about you. It's a bit odd.
Yeah. So, Ben and Luke, along with the droids, go to Mos Eisley in their speeder. Now, on the edge of a cliff on Mos Eisley, Ben Kenobi says the iconic line, the most wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Oh, God. You want to talk about that?
So, I know a lot about the theme parks, especially Universal and Disneyland and Disney World in Florida. And in 2011, they redid Star Tours to Star Tours The Adventures Continue, which are themed around the prequels. It's different variants. And it takes place between 3 and 4, like in the middle. Now, in the queue is themed like a spaceport, and they play, and like in the queue they play almost like travel logs, like travel ads for each planet. And the ad for Tatooine talks about Mos Eisley and calls it the most wretched hive of scum and villainy. So, are you telling me Obi-Wan, the great and wise Ben Kenobi, took his an iconic saying from a fucking travel ad he saw in an airport once?
Dude, Obi-Wan stole that phrase from a fucking travel ad. Like,
I can't be too upset about Star Tours though. There's a part where they go to Naboo and they run over Jar Jar Binks.
Oh my god, dude. I think I rode that and I remember that part vividly. But at the time I didn't give a shit because I was like 8, but still. I would love to do that again just to kill that piece of crap Jar Jar Binks.
Except that the ride is randomized. There's like a 1 in like a 6 chance that you'll get Naboo.
Yeah.
So anyways, they take the speeder down to Mos Eisley and they get stopped by stormtroopers. And this is where you see the first of the Force mind manipulation. These are not the droids you're looking for.
The Jedi mind trick.
Yeah.
Dude, if I had that shit in real life, I'd use it all the time.
One Travis Scott Fortnite burger.
Why?
I've never had one, and I don't.
I've
think
had
I
it
will.
twice.
Is it good?
It is actually really good. That's
I
why
feel like it is good, but I feel like I would just be so ashamed. I was like, can I get a Travis Scott Fortnite?
No, well, the thing is, I never actually ordered it myself. My mom just ordered it because she always gets something on like a Friday night.
Right. My friend was talking about how his mom's favorite burgers, the Travis Scott burger, and she gets it every time now.
I want to shoot something right now so bad because of what you just told me. That makes me cringe so hard. Oh my god. Why are we talking about the Travis Scott burger? It's Star Wars.
Wait. Anyways, so after the Jedi mind tricks, they wanna, they need to find a pilot, so they go to the cantina. Now, I want to talk about the cantina as a whole.
Yeah, me too.
We see the cantina once in the entire series. We hear the music once in the entire series, and it is one of the most iconic scenes ever. And like, it's never referenced, or like, there's no like music homages to it again.
Yeah, the because it's so catchy, and all right, AJ, wanna know what I love about the scene? I love how Luke is so uncomfortable around all these aliens, because he's like, I've never seen some of these species before in my life. He's so uncomfortable, and I love it. I also love how they're racist towards droids. I literally just wrote in all caps in my notes, droid racism. That's all I wrote. That's literally all I wrote.
Right. Before so Obi-Wan goes to talk to Chewie, which I assume he knows from Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
And we get one of the things that I remember vividly. I don't like you. Oh, I'm sorry. My friend doesn't like you either.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Before we get to Mr. Balls alien, I just want to mention how literal Satan is in the cantina.
Yeah.
You know that? Like, literally, hive of scum and villainy. Like, this place is so bad and evil that literal Satan is in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literal Satan alien.
And then, so, they go and meet with Han Solo. Harrison Ford is just so good.
Mm-hmm. He plays the character not as a hero, as like a dick, which I love.
Instantly clicks.
Mm-hmm. You instantly get
the cocky guy in it for the money.
Yeah, that's all he is, and that's all he has to be. And I just love that, and I feel like that's the kind of click that the prequels were missing. You know what I mean?
Right. And he only did it. He only did it because Obi-Wan promised him more money than he put on the table.
Exactly. So I love. Oh, also, when it comes to the I don't like you either part, when Obi-Wan cuts the guy's arm off, I know this is probably just, at the time, they didn't really know what lightsabers really were yet, but I just want to mention how it's bloody and hollow, opposed to being, burned off.
Yeah.
Maybe
you just blame it on the species.
But, whatever. They probably didn't know what to do at that point.
Right. Anyways, a lackey of Jabba the Hutt comes. Greedo. What kind of alien is Greedo?
Greedo is, I don't know the species, but can we talk about that the scene?
So, no, let's not talk about the special editions.
We have to though. We gotta bring it up. But
let's talk about the original first.
All right, that's fair.
In the original, unaltered, 1977, who shot first?
Han shot first. Is that even AJ? Is that even a question? Han shot first, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then George Lucas was like, well, that's not a good message for kids. If Han shots first, it's making the hero look like a bad guy. And so I made Greedo shoot first, so it looks like self-defense. But little does Lucas know that Han Solo isn't a hero at this point. He's like a bad guy.
He's a vigilante.
The fact that he shot first adds more to his character. He's just like, I don't want to deal with this bullshit. So he murders him.
He's like Batman if Batman killed people.
Yeah, okay. That's an argument for another time. I personally think Batman does kill people, but arguments.
Batman, morally, he doesn't want to, but he
does, though. People say he doesn't, but he clearly does. Anyway.
Because the character's supposed to be built on, the difference between him and Superman is that Superman will kill someone compared to Batman who won't, But
even though Batman does kill people, and it's very obvious that he does.
Well, I mean, he's like, I didn't directly stab them. It's not my fault.
Or like I ain't directly smashed his head into a brick wall.
Speaking of
Sorry.
murder, when we get to the end, I want to talk about how Luke Skywalker is a mass murderer.
I mean, yeah, he is, but like they're like space Nazis, so who cares? Oh, and then also when Greedo gets shot, I love how no one gives a crap about it. Like no one cares.
Yeah, well,
Literally, no one cares.
nobody cares when he pulls the lightsaber either. Like a blue,
Yeah, everything just went back to normal.
especially like a blue lightsaber. It's supposed to be like this outlawed thing that like people haven't seen for years. And everyone's just like,
Yeah.
everyone's like, yeah, he's an outlaw. He probably found one.
Yeah, I'm surprised they kicked out C-3PO, but they probably because they ain't want to mess with Obi-Wan, but they ain't kick out a Jedi. It's kind of weird.
Well, they probably didn't know that he was a Jedi because like they probably just figured, oh, he found it on like the black market on a planet like that dumbass casino planet.
Well, he also but yeah, he also wears Jedi robes though, so you think they'd assume, or maybe they don't know what Jedi's look
Or
like,
maybe they know of Ben Kenobi.
or maybe they just don't want to mess with the Jedi because he just cut off a guy's arm.
I mean, they do report him, and like stormtroopers come in.
Yeah, they report him. Actually, I forgot about that. Speaking of, I guess that's the part of the movie we're at now. So let's continue.
So, Solo blasts his way out of the confrontation. And before they get to the Falcon, which is launching bay, I want to say 6.
I kind of forgot. I don't really.
Fake fans. We're fake fans. I'm sorry, guys.
We're fake fans. We don't know the exact docking bay the Millennium Falcon was in. Damn!
Sorry, podcast over. We're no longer nerds. We're just short versus
Guys, this has been short nerd versus shorter nerd. We'll see you in the next episode.
This has been short versus shorter. We've been stripped of the title nerd.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, stormtroopers are walking in the alleyways, and 3PO and R2 just hide themselves.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then there's a spy. There's the Imperial spy.
Yeah, the Imperial guy fights like.
He's like, he's a little elephant man.
Yeah, he is.
He looks like Max Rebo. Kind of reminds me of Max Rebo.
Yeah.
If y'all, the viewers, don't know, Max Rebo has a band in the 6th episode in Jabba's palace, and he's like a little blue elephant man. He's really cool. He's my favorite Star Wars character ever. And I'm not joking. He is my favorite Star Wars character.
Yeah. Well,
anyways,
it's better than the little monkey guy on Jabba's shoulder.
No, it's not. No, he's annoying. In my opinion, the little monkey guy's annoying. Max Rebo all the way. Especially when Boba Fett pulls out the thermal detonator, he just shuts his eyes. It's like, aw. That's kind of precious.
Yeah. Anyways, so in the Millennium Falcon docking bay, in an edit scene, I'm gonna let you talk about this because you have some very passionate thoughts.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you guys couldn't tell, I get political over Star Wars. So let's talk about this scene. In the original 1977, there was a person he was talking to. It wasn't supposed to be Jabba. But George Lucas, being the actual dumb craphead he is, he added Jabba the Hutt in there, a CGI Jabba, which A, ruins the surprise of Episode 6 Jabba, B, is a terrible CGI version that looks nothing like the Episode 6, and it doesn't even look real, and finally, it doesn't work, because Han Solo is awkwardly close to him, and when he steps over his tail, oh my god, when he steps over his tail, it doesn't look real. They obviously edited it in. It's just everything about that. Again, that's the special edition that they have on Disney Plus, and they had, when they made the special editions.
Right.
It's just a pointless added scene. Honestly, in my opinion, I think they just could have cut that whole scene out of the movie because even the original didn't make sense. Who the fuck is he talking to? You know what I mean?
But anyways, because of the spy, they're noted, and stormtroopers come, and they barely get that hunk of junk off of Tatooine.
Mm-hmm. Because the stormtroopers can't hit, and this is the first time we kind of see stormtroopers as the stormtroopers we know of today. Because at the beginning of the movie, they were like bad at, like they actually killed almost all the rebels and imprisoned all the other ones. Now when they're facing our heroes, we get the old hero kind of doesn't get shot.
Yeah. And
That are kind of in all movies.
while we're talking about the hunk of junk, let's talk about the Kessel Run.
Oh yeah, that was a mistake.
How can you do a Kessel Run in 12 parsecs? If parsecs is a distance, not time.
In my opinion, that adds to the charm. Parsecs is the unit of distance and not time. They got it wrong. By the way, what is the unit of time? What shouldn't have, what should that have said?
Well, yours are BBY.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who cares though? Because half the people who see this movie won't even know what parsecs are, and they'll just assume it's unit of time.
Yeah, that's what I assumed.
It adds to the charm though, even if you do know.
That's what 10-year-old me said watching it on VHS.
I was like, what's parsecs? Wanna know what's funny, AJ? I thought, I really hate admitting this, I thought the Kessel Run was the name of the ship for like a good year. Yeah, I know, laugh, please. No, but like, this is when I was young though. This was like, before I knew the prequels were shit and stuff.
Yeah. Also, good point by everyone here. Nobody called it the Millennium Falcon. It's the Falcon.
The Falcon.
Like, we're calling him Han Solo. We are not Lando Calrissian.
Yeah.
But everyone, including Lando, calls it the
Falcon.
Falcon.
You almost said it. You almost said Falcon. I say Falcon.
It's the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah. Oh, is this the Right. So next up, hold on, I got kind of lost. This is where they come up across Alderaa's remains, right?
No, they gotta blow up Alderaan first.
Right.
So,
Okay.
so
I don't know why I forgot about that.
What you forgot? It's one of the most important scenes in the movie.
No, because I'm not looking at the plot synopsis. I'm looking at the notes right now.
Right. Yeah.
So I probably just did. Oh wait, no, I do have a one note on it, which I'll get to in a sec.
So Tarkin decides to break Leia's, her torture, because she's not breaking. So she decides to test the power of the Death Star and try to break her with her home planet of Alderaan. So he gets her to the window, and they fucking blow up Alderaan.
I just wrote in my notes, Alderaan fucking dies.
And Leia reveals the location of the base in hope of saving Alderaan. And they just fucking blow it up anyways.
It wasn't even the base. It was an abandoned. It was Tatooine, which is a planet. Also, I want to bring up, AJ, I think I know why she was doing a British accent halfway through the scene. I think she was like kind of mocking Tarkin, right? Or was she just doing it because she had no clue what was going on?
I didn't pick up on that.
You don't know? Yo, now when you rewatch the scene, think of what I told you. She has a British accent. Like, she's like, I recognize your foul stench. Like, she has I can't do it. Actually, hold on. I recognize the foul. I just did a JFK accent on accident.
Nothing bad ever happened to the Kennedys.
Wait, I could do a British accent when I'm saying this, but not when I can say that line. But yes, she does a British accent, and I think she's mocking Grand Moff Tarkin, but she could also just, I don't know.
Well, while that's happening, Obi-Wan heard millions of voices call out in terror, and then be immediately silenced.
Yes.
Such a powerful. It's so powerful how Alec Guinness plays that off.
Yeah, how he like words that. I think it's really great.
And this is what we see Luke training with the lightsaber. And he puts in the helmet. Han is quick to call on it's all fake, hokey.
Yeah, he thinks the Force is BS. To be honest, I don't blame him. I mean, he has no midichlorians, so obviously you'd think it's all BS. But then when he gets every single shot with the visor down, it's just luck, and then Obi-Wan's in my experience, there's no such thing as luck.
And then, we can't forget the most important part about that scene.
What would that be?
3PO's kicking Chewie's ass, and Han.
Oh yeah!
And then Han's like, "Don't beat him. He's gonna rip your fucking arms out."
Exactly.
No, it's R2's playing against him, and 3PO's just like,
Oh yeah, R2's playing against them.
yeah, he's like, R2, I think you should let the Wookiee win now.
And then when Han mentioned the fact that Wookiees rip arms off when they lose, I love how Chewbacca puts both of his arms behind his head and just like kind of chills out because he's like, yeah, I'm a Wookiee, fuck you. Like, good.
Well, I thought he was doing that because Han said you should let him win, and he felt sad, like I can never win on my own.
No, I think he was kind of doing that because he felt like snarky and happy.
It might have been a little bit of both.
Yeah, maybe. You could interpret it in different ways, I guess. But anyways,
so after then,
anyways,
it's an easy transition.
It's just the easiest transition.
So Ben Kenobi obviously feels the disturbance in the Force, and they go to Alderaan, and it's a mysterious asteroid storm. This wasn't picked up, and they don't see the planet anywhere, just dust and rocks. But they see a small moon, and that's not a small moon.
That's a space station.
And
I love this scene so much.
Next thing you know, they're stuck in the tractor beam.
Dude, okay, can I talk about this scene real quick?
Yes.
All right. This is my favorite scene in the whole movie, and this might be a surprise because it's not a lot of people's favorite scene. It's when they realize they slowly put the pieces together, and it's great. They're like, wait, where's Alderaan the system? It's completely gone. It was destroyed by the Empire. It's like, that's impossible. And then, wait, no, I think Han says, that's impossible. Not a fleet can do that. And then they see the supposed moon. And then they slowly realize that that's a space station that just destroyed an entire planet.
And once they realize, both Han and Obi-Wan are like, we should turn around.
And then he's like, yeah, I think that's a good idea. And then in this scene, I just want to point out, you know the meme where Anakin says this is where the fun begins?
Yeah.
Han said it first. Han said it first in this scene. And no one ever quotes Han. And I find it kind of sad. Because Han did say it first.
Because he's now the prequels, and r/prequel memes rules all.
r/prequel memes is the best subreddit, and I don't even use Reddit. But anyways, yeah, they get sucked in by the tractor beam. Then they get put on the ship, and then they search the ship, and they don't find anything because they're actually hiding underneath the floors. And then the guard tells Darth Vader, there's no one on the ship. And then Darth Vader senses Obi-Wan, and he's like, search the ship again. Tear this ship apart and shit like that. And then he says, I sense something that I haven't sensed since. And then he kind of cuts himself off. That's when he realizes that Obi-Wan's on the ship.
Right.
He senses Obi-Wan. Because something that I haven't felt since the battle on Mustafar.
And because he goes since and then he just cuts off that.
Yeah, and then this is so awkward for like the officer. He's just like,
well, I think that's definitely George Lucas going, I don't know since what.
Yeah, it's like George Lucas maybe having something in his head, but maybe not.
It's George Lucas going, what if
it worked out in the end? Worked out.
What if there's an alien named Jar Jar and he spoke in a Haitian accent?
Can you just imagine if Jar Jar was in his head ever since 1977? I mean, just imagine.
Jar Jar is the Sith Lord, as we know.
Jar Jar is the secret Sith Lord. He always was. It was never Palpatine. In fact, Jar Jar was the Phantom Menace. It was never Palpatine.
I mean, isn't Jar Jar the reason why Palpatine's term got extended?
Exactly! He's the one who gave him emergency powers. All right, we'll talk about that when we talk about the god-awful Phantom Menace. Actually, wait, no, that's not even in Phantom Menace. What movie is that in?
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones, yeah.
Yeah.
I always forget if it's in Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith for some reason.
So, anyways.
Yeah.
Their plan becomes knock out the stormtroopers.
And put on the stormtrooper gear.
Right. Oh, so Obi-Wan goes off to shut off the tractor beam. Han doesn't want to get in the gear, but Luke's like, you're saving a princess. It will,
Ew.
Nice reward. He's like, all right. And they put Chewie in fake cuffs.
Right.
How did 3PO and R2 get off the ship? Did they just kind of wander?
I think they kind of just followed along.
Yeah.
At least I would assume they kind of just sneaked off.
I mean, and they're probably not that sus because they're already on the Death Star.
Yeah, the droids are on the Death Star.
Like nobody blinks an eye.
It's at this point in the movie where I wrote down in my notes, AJ, have you ever noticed that the stormtrooper helmets look like skulls? They look like skeletons.
I don't think they're supposed to.
Yeah, but I just kind of realized that, and I don't know why. Because I actually have a, as you can hear it in the mic, I have a stormtrooper mug right here. The mouth area has like lines on it, and there's like 2 eye holes, and it looks like a skull. And I kind of just realized that, and I feel kind of stupid for it.
Huh.
I think that's really cool. And you just look at clone troopers, and you're just like, yeah, I don't know what that's supposed to be.
Battle attack.
I mean, to be fair, clone troopers look way better than stormtroopers, but still.
That's neither here nor there, but it's definitely there.
So, anyways, further in the plot thickens. They have this plan, to bring up Chewie and stuff. And I love how Han only goes because of the cash prize again for the princess.
It's such a solo move.
Like, yeah, it's just a Han move. And then I love how they face backwards in the elevator. And then Luke also says, "I can't see a thing in this helmet." And you're just like, oh, so that's why the stormtroopers suck.
Also, well, I think it's supposed to be that, and it's also supposed to set up you're a little short for a stormtrooper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, and then they enter the room and they're like, "Where are you taking this thing?" And I just wrote down in all caps, "Racism."
So they wipe out the guards, and Luke goes to get Leia because they know it's Soshi then. Thanks to 3PO and R2 in a command room.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a really good Han Solo movement. Him with the Solo with the communication thing. He's like, everything's fine here.
We're all fine. Everything's fine. How are you? Perfect comedic timing. It's so funny.
Everything is fine. How are you? And he's
everything's perfectly fine here. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you? So good.
He's like, what the fuck did I just do? He just fucking shoots it. He's like, oh, jeez.
Yeah, and then when he realized he made a mistake, he just shoots it. It's just like, that's so Han.
Yeah, and he's like, it's like, kid, you gotta get out of there.
Oh, and then, we're about to have, a short nerd versus shorter nerd spiritual moment when Luke enters that cell. "I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you."
Aren't you
a little short for a stormtrooper? I just wrote, felt that on a personal level. Really do. I just felt that on a personal level. It's the reason I've never dressed as a stormtrooper on Halloween. It's just like, fuck. I can't.
Oh, I don't get with my sister. Oh no, the shame. Oh, that's horrible. We don't live in Alabama.
Yes. Horrible. It's fucking great that we don't live there.
No. I mean, like, the concept of it is horrible.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, I said fucking anyways again. God damn it.
I mean, just go anyways. Are we in...
Anyways.
Canada.
Anyways, we're in Canada now, yeah?
Hey.
Okay. So, I love how in this scene where they're fighting the stormtroopers, I love how Leia has the idea to go in the trash compactor, because it's just like, yeah, she's kind of a badass, you know what I mean? She's not this regular Disney princess.
Yeah,
she must have felt guilty when they're about to be crushed. Because she brought him down
still
there.
is a little damsel in distress in this one. Especially like when she kisses Luke on the cheek.
That was stupid. We'll get to that.
But like episode 5 and 6, I know why it took, like, she should have just been General. Because she essentially was General Origama, but they didn't. It took them, 4 more movies to go.
Mm-hmm.
She's old now. She is a general.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that was kind of a missed thing.
But then again, it was also the 70s. And they didn't
yeah, they needed to have a female heroine. They needed to just have that.
And let's take this with a pinch of salt. In the 70s, just having a female heroine was big, because they didn't really understand what women were
like powerful.
Yeah,
and like in the original poster, like Luke has his fucking like shirt off, and Leia's like holding onto his leg.
Well, that's why
Thank God they changed it.
When I bought the poster, I purposely bought the other one,
Mhm.
and that's also the reason why I don't want to buy the episode 6 poster.
Because why? It says Revenge of the Jedi instead of Return.
No, because Slave Leia.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's whatever though.
Between A, I don't want people walking in and be like, what you got there, buddy?
What you got there, buddy boy?
Also, I do feel kind of guilty, like every time that like stuff about that pops up, because like,
They sexualized her, and it was kind of wrong.
yeah, and also rest in peace, Carrie Fisher.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah. That. Oh, I just realized that's way more awkward than I thought.
Yeah.
So this podcast took a dark turn. Let's continue with the movie.
I mean,
So,
I like how this is the darkest part of the planet. Darkest part of the podcast. They blew up a planet earlier.
Yeah, exactly. That was in the movie. We got to real life really quick. But all right, so they go in the trash compactor. This is a really great scene because everyone's just so fed up with each other,
I love this scene.
And then why is there how is there a monster down there, and how has he been living down there?
Have you ever seen the Phineas and Ferb Star Wars special?
No, I hate that show. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I do hate that show.
It's the best adaptation of Star Wars Disney has done since the purchase, and it's not canon either.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah, like they say in the beginning, like in the title card, just like, it's not canon, so let go of your hats and just enjoy it.
That's good.
Star
Wars fandom.
But like they have Doof like getting because he has machine that's powered by garbage from the trash compactor, and he gets an aqua suit and he dives into it, and there's an entire sea down there. And he's friends with the sea monster.
Yeah.
The sea monster does look really fake.
It's fine. I think it looks kind of cool, especially when it blinks its eye, which I think they added the blinking of the eye in the special edition.
Right. Well, yeah, it's something with the eye that kind of breaks it for me. But what it reminds me of?
What?
Almost like the Beetlejuice sandworms, from the movie.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's all claymation.
That's true. But yeah, after Luke gets attacked by the monster, the walls start closing in because that ironically just happens at that moment. But we'll just go with it. So the walls start closing in. This reminds me of the scene in Indiana Jones Temple of Doom when the same thing is happening with Indiana Jones and Short Round.
Right.
And C-3PO is kind of the version of what's her name? Shit, why is it escaping me? Oh, Willie in that movie where she's like, I can't do it when she has to stick her hand in the bug lever. But then this time C-3PO just doesn't know what to do. And he's just freaking out. And then when they finally get saved, they're all laughing, but 3PO thinks that they're screaming.
Yeah, it's really funny. But you know what the thing? It's not that he doesn't know what to do. Stormtroopers come in and they start questioning 3PO and R2. So he has his communication thing down and trying not to make any sound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Mark Hamill is just yelling on top of his lungs with his silky wet hair. 3PO!
3PO! Come on, 3PO! Yeah, that's great. And then they get out. And then Han keeps on calling Leia your worshipness, and she gets so pissed off.
Oh, because he's a cocky son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then, of course, I forgot to mention this before, but Stormtrooper bonking his head on the door. Remember that part?
That's right.
They kept that.
I like to mention that they did 5 takes, and they just didn't notice that until someone was like, "Wait a minute."
Mm-hmm.
That's
true.
On the internet.
Yeah, they just kept it. Oh, and then I also wrote. All right, so further in the plot. They leave the trash compactor, safe and sound. They almost die, but then they're, traveling through the Death Star, and they come across stormtroopers, and then this scene where just Han chases 12 stormtroopers.
Right.
Why? It's one person with a handgun versus 12 armed stormtroopers with assault rifles.
Although, well, because
like it's so silly.
because he only originally chased after 2 of them. And,
Oh right, and then they added
and then
2 of them. Like,
but
come
like,
on.
well, because he's like, he's encountered them before. He got cocky. He's like, I could handle them. Not, and they were running because they knew where they were going. And he runs and he's like, ah.
Yeah. And then when he turns into that room, there's just 76 of them.
That is one of my favorite scenes in like.
But they added 76 in the special edition. It was originally like a few more, but they added so many.
I like it more with like so many of them.
I actually do like it more, even if it makes no sense. It's just funny. Like it's just legit funny.
Yeah. But anyways, the group tries to get on the Falcon, and they do. Obi-Wan has shut down the tractor beam by that point, but he ends up confronting Vader. Now,
all right. So let's talk about this scene.
Thematically, it was cool. In like concept, great. Execution.
Because all right, so if you guys don't know what we're talking about, whoever hasn't seen the movie, Obi-Wan and Darth Vader end up fighting after like how many years? Like 30 years?
19.
19? Oh, it's 19?
Well, because Luke is 19, and then right?
I just guessed that number. Yeah, probably around. Yeah, so they end up fighting.
Right.
And, if you've seen the Mustafar battle, this is the most underwhelming battle. Even if you haven't seen the Mustafar battle between Anakin and Obi-Wan, or I guess at that point, Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, it's very underwhelming. It's very outdated, the choreography in the fight. And they did an SC Reimagine where they pretty much redid that entire fight. And I always wonder, why didn't they add something like that to the special editions, but they'll add, like, McClunky in the Greedo scene?
Oh, because George Lucas is not that smart.
Yeah. I just wish they would have added the special fight in...
I don't know. But honestly, I kind of like it, though, because, like, I like the original trilogy. Like, the sequel trilogy fights and the prequels are really good, but they're way too over choreographed, and it very much seems like half the time they're just going.
Well, especially in the prequel ones, like there's like the fight on Mustafar, which I could defend the over choreography because Jedi are supposed to predict every mood, but it looks more like a dance sometimes.
Right.
Like that fight's great, but it just looks like a dance.
Yeah, I was about to say the same about Yoda versus Sidious, but that's different because he's just throwing.
Yeah, but that whole fight's kind of dumb. Should we all just admit the worst lightsaber fight in the whole saga is Count Dooku versus Obi-Wan and Anakin, and then Yoda in Episode 2?
Yeah.
Not the one in Episode 3. The one in Episode 3 was actually one of my favorite lightsaber fights, but the one in Episode 2 is the worst. In my opinion. Anyways, we're getting off topic. We'll talk about that in the Episode 2 review.
Whenever that may come up.
Yeah, it'll definitely come up.
It'll come up, but that's at the whim of you. What does that mean? We'll come to that later.
Oh, at the end when we're done talking about this movie, which is actually sooner than I thought. Holy crap. So anyway,
I mean, let's be honest. Like, even for like all the cuts and everything, like this is still gonna be like an hour and a half.
Definitely a good time. So anyway, when Obi-Wan chooses to die, it's very powerful because if Obi-Wan didn't choose to die, possibly Luke would not have blown up the Death Star. I don't think Luke would have blown up the Death Star because Obi-Wan would be able to talk to him through Force Ghost.
Right.
So the fact that Obi-Wan chooses to die is really powerful. And then they all get on the Falcon.
Obi-Wan realizes that the fate of like the next Jedi, he has him set up. He knows that he's gonna send him to Dagobah, and he's like, I've done what I needed to do. My job after the fall of the Republic was to protect the boy, and I protected the boy.
And now the boy is experienced enough, and he dies. It's very powerful.
Yeah, the boy's becoming a man. He's letting go.
He's not a boy anymore. He's nowhere near a Jedi in this movie, but he's definitely a man now.
Right.
So anyways, the TIE fighters, well, first of all, they get in the Falcon and they escape, obviously, because Stormtroopers do not know how to hit jack shit. They get in the Millennium Falcon, and then this is such a good scene.
I'm sorry, sir. The
Falcon.
Falcon.
Falcon. Falcon, dude. Want to narrate the fight scene? The TIE fighter scene?
So there's two TIE fighters. Is it two or three?
I think it's 3. Yeah, it's 3.
There's the three TIE fighters chasing after them, and Chewie takes hold of the wheel. Leia stays in the cockpit. Luke goes to the lower blasters on the Falcon. Han goes to the upper one. I think Han takes out 2 of them. But
Yeah.
there's still one left that he can't get to, and Luke has to get because he's on the lower one. And Luke gets it, and he gets all happy. And the don't get too cocky, kid.
Yeah.
The cockiest person.
From the cockiest person. Like, says the cockiest person in the whole movie. And then they get all of them, pretty much. And it's a really fun scene. The music's really good, actually.
Yeah.
So, then we have, during that scene... Oh, yeah, I wrote down, during that scene, R2-D2 is, like, literally saves the day every single movie. He puts out a fire that they had with, like, his little fire extinguisher built in. And I'm just like, God damn, when does R2-D2 not save the day?
He's the real hero of these
Honestly,
movies.
why didn't fucking R2-D2 get a medal? So stupid.
Oh, because he's a droid.
Yeah, and we'll talk about Chewie at the end.
So after that, the rebels escape to Yavin 4. Now, they know that the Empire is coming after them. They know the Death Star is coming up to Yavin 4. They have the plans in R2. They're retrieved. So they have to get the plans out to their troops, show them what they got to do, and quick, because the Death Star is approaching.
I think they had, like, literally 30 minutes.
They had, like, 30 minutes. Literally, they blow it up as it's about to fire.
Yeah, it's insane.
It starts firing, and once the laser is about to shoot, then the reactor explosion happens.
Mm-hmm. Which is actually crazy, but
Well, we're on the plan of the Death Star. The rebels capture it once, and then they make another one, and they don't even get the plans for it.
Oh, we're talking about the second Death Star?
Yeah, like why would you make it with the same weakness but bigger and a bigger opening?
Well, that's talk for another day. When we talk about Return of the Jedi, but yeah, that is...
Like, it's still under construction. Yeah, but you have a big-ass hole to get in there.
Exactly, yeah.
Compared to just a little exhaust port. Wouldn't you just make the exhaust port smaller? Or, I don't know, not have an exhaust port?
Just, like, cover it up. Well, the original plot hole in Episode 4 is, Rogue One explains it in a perfect way. It was purposely made there by Jyn Erso's dad. Which is a really nice way to cover up a plot hole.
Right.
I really like that.
Well, that's what you get when you have a series that has you can do a lot of continuity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and then they're about to, so pretty much, they are going into this as if they're not going to win, I feel like. Because this is, again, Han is kind of a dick about it. He's leaving with the reward. Obviously, we know he comes back at the end. But for now, we think he's leaving with the reward. He's like, kid, this isn't so much of an attack. This is a suicide. And to be fair, Han was kind of right. How was he supposed to know that Obi-Wan was going to talk to Luke through the Force? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if he didn't, it would have been suicide.
Also, they get to they get to Yavin 4, and who does Luke meet up with?
Biggs.
And where they're like, yo, he used to shoot Womp-Rats in Tatooine. He was the best out of them. He will do just fine. When?
Like, why did he do that?
Like, yeah, he could shoot Womp-Rats. All right, cool. Go blow up a space
station. Go blow up a giant space station now, because you used to shoot some tiny animals. Right. Awesome contrast. But, yeah, so after that, again, Biggs, we haven't seen the whole movie, which there's a deleted scene where Biggs was on Tatooine earlier, but they kind of just deleted that. So that's the first time we kind of see him. So then they get ready for the battle, and they go. And the tension while they set up is really good, because there's barely any music. It's just noises of people getting ready. And then finally the music starts, and you see the X-Wing slowly going up to the Death Star, and I think that's a great shot.
So... I want to tell you a fun story. Do you know why it's it is a why it's red leader and gold leader.
Why is that?
It was supposed to be red leader and blue leader, but the blue leader was messing with the green screen, blue screen when they were filming, so they had to change it.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, that's why it's gold leader instead of blue.
That's
leader.
like kind of the same scenario with Luke's lightsaber in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
like, or I don't know, Henry Cavill's mustache.
Yeah. But yeah, the tension's building up, and then they go to attack the Death Star, and this is the final act of the movie. And holy crap, it's probably one of the best final acts ever, like in movie history. I think I
Yeah.
could say that.
Talk about it being a suicide mission. Everyone dies except for Luke.
No, I think a few are left.
No,
Yeah, there's like
because they all get blown up, and I think one misses. It doesn't Biggs miss?
no, but like I feel like Big survived, right?
No, he didn't. Because if Biggs survived, then wouldn't he be with Luke on Hoth instead of Dax?
That's true. So yeah, everyone did die, and then when everyone does die, Luke is like so scared because he's like, "Oh my god, this is up to me."
I'm going to kill the universe.
And then when Darth Vader gets on the
Why don't we
TIE
ever see
fighter,
Vader and the TIE fighter ever again?
we just saw it once, and it's so sick, like legit. So obviously, Luke slowly realizing that all the rebels are dying around him, and the fact that's all up to him, he's terrified. And then Tarkin had a chance to leave, and he was like, "I think you're overestimating their chances." Because at this point, they don't know the rebels to be some great, force. They just
Right.
see them as little shits trying to attack a giant space station.
Right. Also,
It's after the Death Star explodes that they realize, oh, these rebels are kind of no joke.
Tarkin knows. Tarkin doesn't know that is a Skywalker. He doesn't know that he's been working with Obi-Wan. He doesn't know that he is Force sensitive.
Exactly.
He thinks rebel scum, not rebel Jedi.
Or not person that could literally blow up a 2-centimeter hole because Obi-Wan tells him to. So, yeah. So Darth Vader and the TIE Fighter is sick, and then this one guy, the TIE Fighter guy. No, there's 2 TIE Fighters along Darth Vader, and then Darth Vader's like, the Force is strong with this one. And I wrote down in my notes, little did you know that's your son. I always found that, like, really weird, because Darth Vader has no idea. And the fact that Darth Vader hasn't showed a moment in, like, Empire where he's, like, actually mad at Luke for blowing up his space station is kind of weird.
Well, because I don't think he cares. Because, like, Vader also kills, like, Admiral after Admiral. I think it's like, he's like, I'm the most powerful person in the galaxy. Don't fuck with me.
Yeah. Oh, and then the music is tensing up.
Right.
And then finally, do you want to say it?
Han Solo comes back in the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
With Chewie. He takes out the other TIE fighters. He throws off Vader. He goes, "You're all clear, kid." And he shoots it in. And the bullets somehow curve down.
Which doesn't make sense.
And at the last second, right before they blow up Yavin 4.
It blows up.
Now, I only have one criticism with this scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's very weird how when Han Solo returns, he doesn't have any heroic scoring. It's just this, like, the same dramatic, you know what I'm saying?
Well, he gives the Yahoo, and then Darth Vader's like, what? I think the Yahoo is just kind of cool. And plus, like, the glimmering effect of when the Millennium Falcon comes on screen.
But, like, I
think that was just a...
Yeah,
I don't think
I thought they would at least give him, like, a little fanfare, but, like, there's no change in music.
I mean, there's no such thing as a Han Solo theme either.
No, but, like,
so, what else?
I mean, they could have used the main theme.
That's true. I don't know. I think it's fine.
I mean, they used the main theme. They used the main theme in Episode 8 when BB-8 was shooting coins. So, like, they have no bearing.
Oh my god. Yeah, sure. They could use the main theme for anything at that point. So yeah, they blow up the Death Star, come back to Yavin literally right before it's about to blow it up. How convenient. And we're getting towards the end of the movie. So we gotta... Oh, and then obviously, I forgot to mention, Luke's sigh of relief is just so satisfying. And he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh shit! I just blew up a space station." Luke kind of murdered billions of people. Not billions, but like millions of people. And it
Yeah,
was
but
just
the
like,
Empire also did the same thing. So like, two wrongs don't
yeah,
make a
yo, yeah, he did. They did that like times
huh,
three to old.
two
So I
two
guess it's
wrongs
not really.
two wrongs don't make a right. But I guess sometimes they make a left.
But it's also like a bunch of stormtroopers that were working there are just like doing it for because they were just like, they want to join the Empire because they wanted a job. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like the stormtroopers aren't
right.
evil. So he probably, I feel like he must have felt a little bit of grief, just maybe a little bit, because
I
that's the
don't know.
stormtroopers version of like. And there's a skit on it. There's a college humor skit on it,
Yeah, I don't
and
think
they were talking about Death Star explosion as if it was like 9/11.
right.
It was like,
I don't think Luke ever thought about that.
I hope he did. I don't know.
Um,
Wanna know what matters more than that though?
what?
Wanna know what matters more than that? So at the end, there's a celebration scene. I've been looking forward to this the entire podcast.
First, before
I
we
think
start,
you know what I'm talking
before we
about.
say that, let's just talk about.
Uh-huh.
It's shot very well. It's scored beautifully. It's some of the best music in the entire movie, entire series.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like it's if there's anything I get out of doing this, I get to talk about John Williams' score, and he is possibly the greatest film composer of all time. One of the greatest composers.
Oh wait, you cut up first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, if the movie would not be the same without him.
No,
It would not be really as good without
he is the
him.
greatest film composer of all time. He might be the greatest. He's one of the greatest composers, period, of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think definitely he is the greatest composer of all time. I mean, Star Wars would not be, because you wouldn't have the iconic themes. It just would not be what it is today without John Williams.
Right.
It's insane. Because a lot of sci-fi movies at the time were just using, techno, like that kind of stuff, like techno music, like
Right.
sci-fi kind of music. But no, Star Wars did an instrumental kind of thing, and it was just a big change. It was really good.
Right.
I loved it.
So
So, how are we going to bring this up?
so Leia gives medals to Luke, who blew up the Death Star, Han, who came in for the save and was really helped the Jedi's saving hope, the rebels saving hope, and they get medals and stand proudly. Who stand in the background? Han Solo,
Chewbacca!
his co-pilot.
Fucking Baka, who was there with him when he blew up. Well, Han didn't obviously blow up, but he was there when Luke blew up the Death Star on the Millennium Falcon with Han Solo. Why doesn't he get a medal? Racism.
Well, also, you know what I think kind of the thing, kind of remind me of?
What?
Have you ever heard the saying, always the bridesmaid, never the bride?
Yeah.
That's what that was, because he's the co-pilot.
Yeah. God damn. It just pisses me off. I don't know why it pisses me off so much. And then they give him the medal in the 9th episode. Like, thanks, we needed that now.
Which, like, yeah,
We need to wait
nice,
40
but,
years.
But, not even that we had to wait 40 years. In the story, it just felt so contrived.
I mean, that whole movie is fan service. But anyway, yeah, they don't give him a medal because he's a Wookiee. And that's the end of the movie.
So, A New Hope has a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes and an 8.6 on IMDb. What would you give this movie on a scale of 1 to 5 stars?
Now, talking about it again with you, I would probably give the same rating that Rotten Tomatoes gave it.
A 92%?
Yeah, it does have a bit of flaws now that I think about it. Like the Han Solo chasing a bunch of stormtroopers,
Right. It has its flaws, but it's
nearly flawless because it's just such a good adventure movie.
yeah. Like, if they never made a sequel, I would be upset, but
Yeah, but thank God it got popular.
Became the biggest thing in the 80s.
It's the biggest thing in the world. Let me correct you. It's like literally the biggest thing in the world. So, who's gonna talk? I feel like we've been doing that a lot.
Just
Again, guys who are watching, this is our first podcast, so we're gonna fuck up a lot. But
yeah.
I did a pretty good job.
Yeah, no. Hopefully the power of editing won't make this too clunky.
Yeah. Guys who are watching, we had a lot of outtakes. Well, not too much. We had a lot of outtakes at the beginning, and then we kind of got the hang of it. So
I want you to know. Currently, we are about an hour 56 into the recording. It's a little past 10. We were supposed to start at 7:30.
oh my god! And then we started at like what, like 8?
Yeah, more like 8:30 because we reshot the intro. Like
Yeah,
over
we
again.
reshot the intro a lot. Well, you're also having difficulty with your mic.
Yeah.
Talking about this to the viewers. Anyway, what would you rate it? I kind of forgot.
Well, I'm gonna base off my letterbox. So letterbox is out of 5 stars. By the way, you should add me on letterbox, AJ Lawrence 629.
Guys, you should add me on Letterbox. I don't have an account on Letterbox.
I go make a letterbox account.
I will after this.
That is your homework. It's a film review site.
Damn. Yeah, I know.
But I give it 4.5 stars. In my review, all I wrote was I usually write a longer review, but for this one I just wrote it's a fucking cinematic classic. It's great. What else can you say?
Yeah, pretty much. I wouldn't have wrote anything else.
When ranking the Star Wars movies, where do you put it?
So I have a whole ass tier list. I would rank it when it comes to like my favorites. I would rank it Empire, Rogue One, then this movie. But when it comes to like the best movies, I think this would probably be above Rogue One. So it would be the second best in my opinion.
So
but when it comes to my personal favorites, I do like Rogue One better than this movie.
I would do. See, because I only started ranking them in like an actual list when I started watching them, and I'm only up to episode 5. Like I'm gonna watch episode 6 tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
If I can remember correctly, right now with episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Solo and Rogue One, it's after Empire but before episode 3.
Yeah, that's a good list. Definitely should be
yeah,
above that. Yeah,
and that, ladies and gentlemen, was our first ever movie of the week. But now the question is, what will be the movie of the week next week? So here's how this is gonna work. We're each gonna pitch a movie, and you guys have 24 hours to vote for it.
exactly.
And whichever gets the vote is what movie we'll be looking at next week, along with a brand new discussion topic. So Ryan, let's go to you first. What are you nominating?
I am nominating the classic, the Tim Burton classic, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Would you like to elaborate?
Nightmare Before Christmas, released. I forgot when it was released, and it's by Tim Burton, and it's a movie about Halloween Town.
A nightmare that happens before Christmas.
Before Christmas, yeah. We'll get into that, but yeah. I feel like everyone knows that movie. I don't really have to explain it too much.
Yeah. So, I was almost gonna nominate Les Miserables, but I'm gonna hold off on that one
because
I'm gonna nominate The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, so it's your choice. It's your guys' choice if you want to continue with the original trilogy, or if you want to do Empire Strikes Back another time and do Nightmare Before Christmas.
What do you want to watch next week? It's all up to your vote.
It's all up to y'all.
You have from Friday to Saturday to vote.
Guys, you should vote in the movie poll because we'll be posting it on our accounts.
It's gonna be the movie poll will be posted on both Twitter and Instagram.
And then also, AJ, we're gonna post it on our personal accounts too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll post it everywhere.
Now, when you vote, may the force be with you always.
Yes, and
also remember that Halloween is at the end of the month. So,
and also, obviously, may the force be with you. But I gotta say one thing, AJ. Vote for the movie, but also vote for the election. Please vote.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I had to say it.
If it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican, election's coming up in 3 weeks. Vote. Voting is important.
Just vote. AJ, I love how I just put that. I just slapped that at the end. The ending was so sloppy, but who cares? All right, guys. May the force be with you.
Alan!
Alan!
God, Jurassic Park 3 is a bad movie.